So just design this quick hire me page, and we'll either just title it hire me for better SEO or do let's talk, something kind of clever. Very basic page. We'll have a contact form, some contact info in case people don't want to actually do the form thing, which is fine. One bit I forgot is maybe a frequently asked question section. I might put that below the form here. We'll probably put like a link on this side that just jumps to it, and then some just bigger call to actions for her socials. So let's get cracking and get this to code real quick. So I'm gonna go to my other desktop here. Here we go. And this is the page at the moment. Obviously nothing really clever there. I do have the blueprint made out, and there's like almost nothing to do with it here, just the title. And we have our slug as well. So we have the defaults on all the page settings. You can change these if you want. You can change the URL as well. So I have hire me here, and no subpages because we don't need any files. Really don't need files that I know of. In fact, I might just put this to false. Okay, actually same with pages. Just to clean up the interface. See, easy. Okay. So we have our title. According to our design, there's our title. We need an intro section, I would say. So let's get that going. Title. That will be text. Title. This will be text area, my bad. There we go. And then below that will be our form. I'm going to just basically make these floated text fields. So we'll do the form name. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. Form, and then label, form, hire me form. And then we'll make this type a headline just to give some separation here. And below that we'll have for name, label name, type will be text. And I don't think I'll have a placeholder for that. Email, label email. I need to make these capitalized. I don't know if you can do email here. Is that a type? Yeah, cool. Actually, that's not what we want. It'd be cool if it were, but okay, so there's text, email placeholder in case we need one. I'm gonna put required true here and here. Oops. Placeholder doesn't need to be, but I'm gonna put placeholder type as text. I'm gonna put width on this to be a half. Same with this one, just to clean up stuff there. Cool. And we'll do the same for, what else do we have in this design? Reason for contact. Okay, so this is a new one. And I think it'll be so the issue here is I need to propagate the select field with the parameters Alyssa can set from the backend. So to do that, I actually need like a structure field as opposed to a select field on the backend. So I'm going to do structure, and then we'll do reason, label reason, type is text, and then we could do a style of we'll leave a style like default. I'm gonna put required true here. if we go back to the panel, we can see what happens. Add first entry, reason. Okay, cool. But we do need to have I need to be more explicit in the labeling, simply because it's not exactly clear on this end. Like, should I enter an email here or actually? So I'm gonna actually put email label and name label, so it's a little more clear. Cool. And it should work for us. And I'll add those reasons. They're gonna be filled text for now because I don't have any real reasons for contacting. So let's put message, and the label is message label. Type is text area. Awesome. Okay, so you can continue that trend with required. Cool. So we have all of our fields. They're obviously not doing anything on the page yet. Well, that is, but it's not quite there. So we need to go to our template now and make that thing look better. Let's go, we actually need to create one. I'm gonna do hire me, because right now it's using a default one. This one here. So we're going to basically copy that and change this to PHP. And I'm going to put intro title here. There we go. Okay, so that's good. We're gonna do a basic container on this whole thing, but this particular design is going to have wide margins just based on the design we have in place. In the last video or two, I did make a custom form using this plugin, Kirby Uniform. Definitely check that out. It's really nice, very easy to set up as well. So what we need to do to get this form to come to life, which is the next step in our design, this guy, is to basically, okay, so for the actual content area, we're going to have a snippet. Basically, I'm going to create one that's the form. I'm going to create a new folder though, so it's hire me as the folder, just to kind of be more organized. Let's make one called form. Okay, so according to the documentation, we need to create a controller for this page. So let's create a new one called hire me, and be sure it's the same name as the page. Naming matters there a great deal, otherwise this just won't register. And we can use this as an example, but I've been using this basic example on their documentation. If you can check it out, and it'll tell you how to do pretty much everything you need to do with it, if not a little more. The thing we need to change are these fields, which we have ours being something a little bit different. So for name, we'll put up top. Email, in our design, we put a reason for contact. So I'm going to create one of those. I'm actually going to refer to the docs for this too, because I'm kind of concerned of how that's going to work. Be a extended example. Oops, I did this wrong. So let's do reason, rules, required. I wonder if you could just do that. I'll do the same for name. Okay, that's essentially all I want to do for now. This is just going to go to me for now. And it will come from Melissa. And you may be wondering, how do you like update, say, the subject or something like that? And there's a setting for that. So I'm going to go ahead and update that in this one. I think it's just subject. There's a few parameters you can pass. If you look here, email action, there's all these things. You can even send a specific email snippet for the email body if you want to do something snazzy in the email. I mean, this is really just going to Alyssa, so I don't think she needs anything too fancy, but for your clients, they might get something a little more branded. And a neat thing is you can pass in variables like this. So if you use little brackets, oops. I'm going to put just new inquiry from, and then just name, since we'll be getting a message from someone, and you can use one of these as a placeholder. So we'll see all that in action in a second. Next, I need to actually add that form in our template. That's where this part comes into play. Go back to this basic example and grab this. Get our basic form going. So I'm going to use some of the markup I did on the other form group just to get things a little nicer and neater. And we'll come back and output our actual code there for the actual fields that we just created. So I'm going to delete this part again and add a class, form control, a space, and end that quote after the PHP ends. So we've got name, email. For grins, I'm going to add IDs. And I'm going to give this a class as well of a hire me form. Okay, and finally we got our message. What else do we have in our reason for contact labels? So I'm going to go back to that extended example and kind of steal his select field here. This will be form group again. Sure why my spaces are 4. My tabs are set to 2. Okay, so we have our label, definitely not for booth, for what did I call it? Reason for contact. For now, I'll put it hard-coded. And reason. There we go. Hire me. Let's go back to here. Reason. Really don't think I need any of this stuff. I think I just need to loop through and display our select field. So if I have a structure similar to this, page, I don't need this sort shit. Let's get rid of that. Actually, I could do it ascending, street, ascending. To structure for each. So essentially we're going to do it for each and then have an option field. There's something not right here. I need to go figure out the field. Let's go to fields, or blueprints, hire me, and use it for contact. To structure. Oh, I need one more param. Okay, so then option would be, so we got to structure, but then we need as reason, and then we can just do reason as a variable and then go get, let me just double check. Yeah, so you can go get the fields below it. So going back to hire me thing, we have a reason. Well, I made that confusing. So if we do reason to reason, HTML, and before I finish that, I'm gonna get this message field as well. Submit, we'll fix that up in a second. Probably do like a class of button primary though. Okay. If we don't get errors, oh, I need to include this on our template still. So if we do PHP snippet form, cross your fingers. Oh dear, what's going on? Oh, hire me. Sweet. It worked. It ain't pretty, but it worked. Awesome. Okay, so at this point, we can get our fields set up too. It's a bunch of spaghetti looking code, I know guys, but this is kind of just PHP in a nutshell. I've been since working in Ruby on Rails, learning it, and I can't, like, going back to PHP is almost painful. It's just so cluttered. Both languages are great. I love everything about them, but man, there's so much less code you have to write to get stuff to work, and it just looks so much nicer. Makes me envy really cool Rails apps and stuff, but we'll keep going off onto the PHP land for now. I do plan to do some Ruby on Rails stuff in the future though, so look for that. I hope you're excited because I am very excited to learn it. I've been building stuff with it. I'm pretty excited to continue to do so. Okay, for this, let's get the page name field. We're going to refer to all these now, so just name and HTML. That didn't work. Oh, we have to do this. Cool. So here, nothing should really change. It's just going to be dynamic now. Alright, so there's nothing there. That's because we used email. It needs to be placeholder. Cool. Not pretty, but it works. This is exactly why I'm like in for Ruby stuff. It's just like, oh, it's so much simpler. We'll get into that. Keep rambling about it. Okay, so we've got that. This is set up. The first one's selected by default. We can do, I don't know, you can do that any which way. And message, I don't think I have a placeholder set up for that, so we should be set. We do need to just echo it though. PHP, page, message, HTML. Shouldn't change. Cool. And I forgot to do this one. And this is looping through our reasons here. So if I were to remove one, save it, head back. There's only two now. So, and if I go back, add one again, I have more questions. Save, head back, refresh. Here we go. So the real true test is to validate that this sends. Testing. Submit. Okay, so I think what's up is this reason thing I put required on it, and realistically a select field, you have to select something. So go do that. Actually, I'm gonna do this and just put nothing. And let's see if we can do this again. Let's see if I get anything here. There we go. Reason didn't come through though, so we need to, okay, so yeah, we forgot to add the value, so I'm gonna go ahead and try that again. Okay, so there's a new one. Reason's still not coming through. Huh. It looks like this over here. So if we have old, and then right now I have it set to, where are we at? Controllers, just the reason. So if I name that reason, I think our option value would be actually that, if that makes sense. So if we do similar to what they have, echo, let's see if it works like this. This could probably throw an error. Yeah, okay, so that's there. If we go back to here, hire me. Okay, so we've got that. Got this option value, but it's just giving me that. So I need, so there's nothing coming through. Sure. So there's nothing there. Echo value, let's say equal to reason HTML. Is this like gonna, I don't have definite like values that I want to use. I want them to be configurable, so this is kind of tricky. All right guys, so for whatever reason I cannot get this to work. I'm trying to literally just add another text field to my controller here, and it just will not come through. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, but for the time being I'm going to comment it out and forget it. That means this field won't exist over here. I need to remove those fields in our panel as well for now. We can probably go ahead and keep them, but they're not going to display. So the basics are right here. I think we'll just start styling these and go from there. We'll start building out the actual page and maybe worry about that stuff later on. So far the basics get sent, so that's good. So let's go ahead and add a style sheet for this page itself. I haven't done that yet. I'm going to do hire me folder, and that will be a hire me partial SCSS, and we'll include that in our pages folder, style sheet, whatever you want to call it. Voila. The entire container here, I do want to make quite a bit less in width. So I'm going to go to that template and add a wrapping container there. Let's go to site, templates, hire me. It's basically just an inner container. So let's do hire container, something like that. Clean this up. Class hire me header. So we'll have a max width of some sort of lesser width. So let's try like, I don't know, 800 for now. And I need this on my actual live reload. So something like that. We can go ahead. I have some utility classes already for this. I'm going to do text center. This one I created one called big title. So should we do that? Break this down. This will be text center as well. Cool. All right, hire me header, and then adjust this output, the intro, to be a little less in width. We can refer to our design. So to really get the width of that, it's about 720 pixels. Should be good. We need to do this though. Auto. Cool. And the header itself, let's target it with the H1. I usually like to give it a class. In fact, well, I did give it a class. We'll call it big title on this page. And margin cut down. And we've been doing this, I don't know if I made a mix-in for it yet. I did not. So it was like the little blue thing on the top. I think I did it on the services page, this guy. It varied though, so I need to kind of toy with it for the mix-in. I haven't gotten that far yet. We'll maybe refactor some code. I don't know if I'll do that live, just because it's literally just going through with fine-tooth comb and redoing things. It's kind of boring, so we'll see what happens though. I think that looks like our design. Yep. Awesome. Okay, so the form fields, we can go ahead and style those independently. I was gonna make them global, but I think I want to keep these separate just because they are white on a grayer background. It's gonna vary on page to page. So let's get our form. Let's give it a class. I think it has one, I just can't remember it. So hire me form, hire me form. And we gave each field a form control class on purpose. So So the background is good. We need a border radius of like 25 pixels. Geez, the text area though, I'm gonna get rid of it on that one. Give that one a class of message. So border radius. Does it have like an inset? Border 1 pix solid. That's like my default border color. I don't know why. DDD kind of mimic what we've done elsewhere. On services, I think there might be one like this. What do we do for padding? Let's just kind of go this route for now. And yes, you would probably do a mix-in for this, but I'm leaving it for now. Color. Okay, we go back. Sweet, that's pretty much what we want. And then and hover or in focus when you actually put your mouse into the field. We don't want an outline. Some would say this is bad for accessibility, but I say, well, right now with this field in particular. But I do want it to be like a color, which isn't good for accessibility either, but not color, border color. And we'll probably just do a hover. So we get this going on. It's kind of nice. And we can include our transition mix-in. Ease, like 2 seconds, 0.2 seconds. And border color. That didn't work. Okay, it is a little bit. Okay, so let's target our message block now. Otherwise known as a text area. So we'll give this border radius of like 5 pixels. Border color. We'll just do border. Okay, width. The widths of form fields. I don't get it. Let's make them all varied. All right, we can set a default height to this to be like 250. That's too much. Same with that. Maybe something like that. Okay. And what do we give to this button? I'm going to give it a different class just to target it a little bit differently. So we'll do submit button. I guess I could just do button submit. All right. Border, none. Font family, body, I think. Yep, and that's about it. It looks good otherwise, minus some margin. Okay, and I might increase this just a little bit. Border radius. And copy that down. So one more thing is the form groups. We gave everything kind of a containing div, which is called form group. I want this to have some top and bottom padding just to give some breathing room, probably only just a tad. And if this needs padding as well, I think we'll do the same. We'll do, no, we won't do that. That'll work. Probably do a little less on the left. Okay. Probably do the same here, unless that looks kind of goofy. Yeah, it does. That's why I did that. Not perfect, but it's close. Okay, so this whole form will be in a row. Do row. And we can, for now, just do like column 8. And so this will give us that like offset thing I designed, just this little widget area, I would call it, and I might just call it that. So snippet, hire me, widget, and let's add that to our snippets. We could do hire me widget. And in this field, I don't know, we could just basically do a text area for our blueprint. You hire me. I might just comment these out for now. Message, and let's do widget. Label. General contact, type is text area. I wouldn't say it's required, but it's there. Go to hire me. Notice that is there, that this doesn't really apply to the form, so I might you know what I could do is make this a structural thing, so you can add multiple widgets if you wanted to. That'd be pretty nice. Maybe I'll do that. Structure. And fields. Widget. And the widget will have a label of widgets. Type will be text area. So we're essentially just having the ability to recreate more widgets. I'm gonna leave the style the same. We'll say hire me sidebar. Just call it that. Okay. Widgets, we'll just make that plural and then a singular. Awesome. So then you can do stuff like this. Nice. Concerning me though, I guess you can still do markdown in here There's only those, not the link thing. I think that's by design. Okay, let's do that. For now, I'm going to add what's there. I do need to have sidebar title. I don't need to have it, but I would like to have it. And we'll just call it general information for now. And then I'll copy her, just some sample data. So Alyssa at endlessdesigns.com. If I do a typical link, or actually here, there's a special thing you gotta do, link. Or okay, is there like a special one for email? I think there is, just the actual email one. So the text could be a subject. That's kind of cool. So in that field, we can do email. It should do everything we want. Is there a one for phone? Phone from Canada. Tell. Nice. Okay. I'll just do. Is there a special format? Okay, no dashes. Okay, now we need to loop that stuff through. In here, let's give it the title first. So we'll do PHP, or let's do this, a page. What did I call it? Sidebar title. Duh. HTML. Echo that. Cool. We need to spit out the structures. I swear, I always forget. I know it's in one of these other templates though, so let me grab the markup for it. The loop, the for each loop, I always forget this kind of deal. Okay. This, it will be page, it will be widgets, to structure, and then we pass in as widget, and then make sure you end your for each. So we've got that, and then we can just do like a if page widgets I'll do like a div class widget, and if, and then inside each we can do the widget content, so we can do like another div of the content, echo what's there. So we'll do page or widget Kirby text, or wait, no, we need to add, right? Let me double check. Okay, so there's, okay, this is confusing. Widget module to widget. This is why I did that. And then we'll do Kirby text since we want it to be formatted. I think that should do it. Or not. Okay. Naming matters. I still don't have it. Okay, so what's up? Widget module, widget. We got widgets here. Type is structure. Yep, that's why. My bad. Okay, so if we do email, email was endless.com and then tell whatever. Let's see if that works. If that line doesn't break, we can add a break. I just want to double check this works first. There we go. Nice. It added one. Nice. Okay. So now we can just style this bad boy and it'll be almost done. I would like to add call to action, social call to action for that giant stuff. Below, type will be a text area. Not really required, but hire me. Okay, so let's paste in this. Okay, so that won't be anything pretty, but we can just go ahead and output that below the container here. Let's do that. I always forget. Social call to action. Okay, so we got that. We just need to make it massive and change it a little. Okay, so now we can style this stuff. Hire me form. Hire me header. Hire me sidebar. Realistically, I should separate these, but this page is so simple, I'm kind of not gonna worry about it. Okay. So now we got that class. I don't know if you guys can see this. Not that you need to, but it's there. So, okay, so we need some padding on this guy. Of like a little, maybe a little more. There we go. And then within a widget, I don't want the font to be very massive, so bring it back down to 1 rem. Let's leave it for now. For grins, I'm going to add a little more text in this just to fill it up a bit. Just to see what it looks like. Also, I'm going to go ahead and make this a little wider. Okay. You know what? Let's just do that, and then that looks kind of cruddy. Maybe we will change the row to 7 and 5, and let's do 7. Column medium 4. Column medium offset. See if that does anything. That's all right. And then we'll get rid of that padding. There we go. Decent, not great, not terrible. I do want to change the widgets. Yes. Okay. And then this whole row, I kind of want to come down on the page. So I'm going to add a class to it. So form, or yeah, me form container. That's kind of deceiving in what it actually is. Hire me content, I guess. So something like that. Then let's grab this. Socials. All the way to the bottom. P. Just for safety's sake. P. We'll do that. I'll stack them. Font size is pretty massive, like to rim. Which, there we go. Font family. Heading. Okay, we need to go down. Something like that. Okay. Cool. Alright, so that's got margin. Where we at? Widget. We'll do P first of type. Or it needs to be P and first of type. Margin top 0. Go. Actually, maybe just a little. Cool. Nice. So very basic. My goal wasn't really to make this page that ridiculous. I might add a little padding. Like so. Just a little more, less. I think that about wraps up. This footer for some reason's off everywhere, but I think I will figure that out as time goes on. I think it's probably footer. Let's see what's going on. Subscribe form. Icon. Okay, I still need to hook up our like MailChimp kind of stuff. So I'll be doing that. So it just needs to come over to the right. So if I do, that doesn't do it. All right, guys. So I think that wraps up our basic page structure and layout part of this series. What's next is basically fine-tuning some code, making things a little more modular. Like some of this stuff I've got repeating CSS, so I don't necessarily always want to have going on. I want to basically make mix-ins out of those or something more efficient in the sense, just in case we update this site to have more pages in the future. I just want it to be very easy to do, especially if someone else is doing it. Not that they will be, but that's just always a concern you should have if you have to hand this off to anyone. In this episode, we integrated everything in the Hire Me page, the form is going through using a PHP Kirby plugin, and it's working. I didn't get the full functionality out of it I wanted, but I think for what we need, it's okay. There's certainly other options, and I'm not a super PHP pro, so I could have coded it myself, but I just didn't really want to. So what's next is probably me tweaking some of these styles and making this thing look good on a phone and tablet. So more to come. I will see you in the next one.